In terms of students' assessment in the system, there are three aspects we'd like to cover in this overview. The first aspect is results capture. So this would cover the type of results that can be captured. The second aspect would be how the system deals with online assessments. And the third aspect will be how the final grade or the final mark for the student is calculated. So for results capture, in the system, we are able to capture three types of results. The first one is competency. So with competency, you don't need to put a mark. You can just state, you can obviously adjust these symbols in settings, but you can just choose whether somebody is competent or not competent, or not yet competent for a particular assessment. And you can also use that as a grade override for an entire module. The next aspect is being able to have combinations of assessments. So you can now have an assessment which you state as a theory assessment, but it can be a theory mark assessment or it can be a theory competency assessment. The last category is practical. So you can now have a practical assessment that is competency or practical assessment that is mark-based. And the results for both of these can be captured in the system. Just to note that all these different types of assessments can exist within the same module or course. You don't have to choose between one or the other. A combination of all can be used. On to online assessments. For online assessments in the system caters for assignment uploads. You are also able to generate an online question paper which students can answer so they can type in their answers online. And the last type of online assessment is a multiple choice assessment. The multiple choice assessment is the only assessment type where the question paper, when it has the student answers, will automatically be marked and it will give the student a result for their particular assessment. In terms of how marks are calculated or grades are calculated in the system, we have two different types of grade calculations. So the first type that we have is called simple, and the second type is progression. So just to cover the differences between the two. So a simple calculation would just be where you'd like an average of the results to give you a final result for that particular module or course. So that's easy because it's just an average. In our system, we cater for weighted averages. So you could say that assessment 1 caters for 20% of the final mark and assessment 3 caters for 50% of the final mark. This is something that you can set up and you can choose which assessments are more heavily weighted. So that's just a general setting. But within that, you can now have a simple calculation that just does an average. If you have an institution that would like to track a learner's progress and at different stages in time be able to say whether a learner qualifies to continue based on previous results that, been able to continue within a course based on previous results which they've obtained. That's where progression comes in. So you're able to say that a particular student, after 4 attempts, qualifies to do the final assessment. So that's just a brief overview of student assessments in the system. And obviously, with all of the assessments, there's the ability to report on them. But this is just for the admin staff from the capturing end to understand